Anatomy and physiology of the intervertebral disc. Now from this diagram we can see the intervertebral disc. Right here we have the annulus fibrosus, the nucleus pulposus, the intervertebral disc. We have the cartilaginous end plates. So this is a lateral view and then the superior view. Then some of the functions of the intervertebral disc. One, it allows spinal motion. Number two, it provides stability. Number three, it links adjacent vertebral bodies together. And number four, it is responsible for 25% of the spinal column height. So in allowing the spinal motion, these are movements such as forward bending, backward bendings, lateral, and the rotations. Then it provides stability with the help of the muscles and the ligaments, then linking the adjacent vertebral bodies together, then responsible for 25% of the vertebral column height. So in terms of development, the development of the spine starts at the third week of intrauterine life and continues up to the third decade of life. There are 23 discs throughout the spine, and they are absent only in the atlantoaxial articulation, that is between the C1 and the C2, the cervical vertebra 1 and the cervical vertebra 2. It is thinnest in the thoracic region and thickest in the lumbar region. So within the lumbar region is thickest as we know that the lumbar vertebra is responsible for weight bearing in nature. That's why it's thickest at that region to help with the weight bearing. Then each disc is located between the bodies of a pair of the vertebra. So in between the vertebra we have the disc. So for instance, between the L1 and L2 we have a disc located in between. Then the body of each vertebra is covered by a thin end plate of bone, which is perforated by numerous tiny holes. So these holes are very important, as we'll see the next slide. It helps in the diffusion, the movement of nutrients towards the disc. Then the outermost portion of the disc is the hyaline cartilage. Then the intervertebral disc in adults is avascular. That means it lacks blood supply. So the cells within it are sustained by diffusion of nutrients into the discs through the pores in the body. So as we said earlier, these pores are very important in the supply of nutrients since the discs are vascular. So the nutrients are supplied through diffusion. Movement and weight bearing help in the diffusion. So while we move and we do weight bearing activities, diffusion occurs very well. But as we'll see later, it occurs very well in the side lying position, mostly in the night after around 1 hour of sleep. Then degeneration of the disc may be prompted by changes in the permeability of the cartilage end plates, which leads to various pathologies of the disc. So these are diagrams showing the disc. So we have the lumbar vertebra. So here we have a lumbar vertebra. Then we have the annulus fibrosus, which is the outer layer. We have the nucleus pulposus, which is surrounded by the annulus. Then we have the intervertebral disc. Here we have the intervertebral disc. Then this is the spinal cord and the spinal nerves. Then the annulus fibrosus, this is the outer structure that encases the nucleus pulposus, as we've seen from the slide before. The annulus is the outer layer, and it encases the nucleus pulposus, made up of lamella, uh, cons- concentric sheets of collagen fibers connected to the vertebral end plates. The fibers of the annulus run obliquely between vertebrae and are arranged primarily in concentric layers. So here's the annulus, which is the outer layer, surrounding the inner layer, which is the nucleus pulposus. Then the nucleus pulposus. This is the central portion that's surrounded by the annulus fibrosus. Consists of a network of delicate collagenous fibers composed of type 2 collagen, the water, and proteoglycans. Contains approximately 88% of water in hydrophilic matrix. It is responsible for the height of the intervertebral disc. So this is the central portion which is surrounded by the annulus. Mostly consists of the collagen fibers, that is type 2 collagen fibers, water, and the proteoglycans. Then approximately 88% of the water is hydrophilic matrix. So here's the nucleus pulposus, the central portion of the intervertebral disc that's surrounded by the annulus fibrosus. So the central layer is the nucleus pulposus. Then you have the end plate and fixation. These are tied to the vertebral bodies by hyaline cartilage. It contains no fibrillar connection with collagen and subchondral bone of the vertebra. So here's a diagram that summarizes the whole thing. So we have the central layer, which is in the superior view, we have the central portion, which is the nucleus pulposus. We have the outer portion, which is the annulus fibrosus. Within the lateral view, we can see the cartilaginous end plates. So this is the end plate, mostly composed of collagen. Then you have the intervertebral disc itself. Then facts about the disc anatomy. There is no disc between the C1 and the C2. That is the atlantoaxial joint. There is no disc. So it is a vascular and gets nutrients through local diffusion. So they get nutrient supplies through the local diffusion through the pores. Then nutrition of the disc is best in sideline position, and 80% of nutrition take place in the first 1 hour of night rest. So the first 1 hour of night rest is very important, and in sideline position, nutrition of the disc is very adequate. And the outer annulus fibrosis of the disc is innervated by the sinovertebral nerve and gray ramus communicants of the sympathetic chain. So that just tells us about the innervation of the annulus fibrosus. Then facts to remember about the disc physiology. So the disc, as we know, it gives spine its mobility. That is around, it allows for the movement, that is forward bending, backward bending, lateral and side rotations. Then it acts as a shock absorber, of course, through the components including the water, the collagen. Then it is cartilaginous. Centrally, it has the nucleus pulposus and peripherally the annulus fibrosus. Then it is a vascular, meaning no blood supply. Then with age, the water content of the disc will fall. And the annulus fibers are weak posteriorly, hence posterolateral disc prolapse is more common. So this predisposes the disc more to the pathology, that is disc prolapse in the posterolateral direction. So that's the end.